We're totally switching gears. It's the 100th anniversary of Crosswords, and who better to join us in studio to talk about it than Gwen Sjogren, crossword creator and author. How many years have you been creating crosswords now?
I've probably been at it for about a decade.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the 100th anniversary. I would imagine that crosswords would be a lot different back in 1913 with no movies and no internet and
Right.
that kind of thing.
They started sort of in a similar place. They started in a newspaper, but they were actually a diamond shape and they didn't have any black squares. So it was very different, but over the course of about 10 years, they kind of morphed into the square shape that we all know, and the black squares came in, and they were just an immensely popular amusement then, and probably maybe not so much now, but still very popular now.
Oh, I was saying to you, the first thing that I told you when we met, my father is obsessed with crosswords. My grandmother keeps the crossword from the newspaper for him every single day, and he sits there until the whole thing is done. And if he's stumped, oh, he can't wait until the next day when he gets the answers.
Yeah.
Do you find a lot of people follow your work closely like that?
I don't know. If you get stumped, my best advice is to just sort of step away from it for a while.
Yep.
And come back to it, because for some reason the human brain, the way it works, you'll get answers the second go round that you won't get the first time. I even recommend that when you go back to it, don't even look at the clues, just look at what you've got filled in the grid, because it's often quite obvious, oh well, this square has to have a vowel or this one has to have a consonant. So by being a little analytical, you can often figure it out just on the visuals without even looking at the clues when you go back.
Okay, because that's quite often my problem. I'm stumped on the clues instead of just looking at what the obvious choice might be, right? Because when you get a number of letters, you should be able to figure out what it is.
Process of elimination. Think of it that way.
Okay, so you've written 9 crossword books. You're on your 10th here, and there's something special about these books here. They're not even your copies, they're the printer's copies,
they
right?
are the printer's copies, yep.
Okay, so how many weeks until it'll be released?
I'm hoping about probably 6 to 8 weeks down the pipeline, but you can also look for it online on all the major book websites and things like that.
And how do you keep it new? How do you keep refreshing the puzzles that you put inside your books?
Part of it's just sitting down and brainstorming lots of ideas, and other things would be something like you could say something to me, like someone said to me a few weeks ago the word autobiography. So to you, oh, autobiography, maybe I'll read one. For me, that's a cue word, and I ended up doing a puzzle on autobiographies of car designers like Walter Chrysler and Enzo Ferrari, because autobiography, to me, that has a bit of a different spin on it.
When I'm having a conversation with you, I can imagine that you're breaking down the words that I'm saying and assessing the conversation much differently than I am, right?
Kind of freaks people out. You never know. But I keep a list, so I'll be writing things down whenever somebody suggests something to me, or some phrase or word. Even someone asked me last year, do I play Words with Friends? And I said no. But then I started thinking about it, so there's a puzzle in here called It's Only Words, and it's about all different word games, like Words with Friends, Scrabble, Jumble, things like that. So yep, your ideas can just cue off anything.
Do you think that working on crossword puzzles helps sharpen your brain?
Oh, absolutely. I once read a statistic, if you solve 4 crosswords a week, you have a 47% lower chance of developing dementia. You can also do other things like play board games or play a musical instrument. So I always hope that if you design 4 crosswords a week, it also would help you with that.
Yes.
But it's kind of the use it or lose it philosophy. If you're starting to lose your mental acuity, I think starting to work crosswords will help you, but it's more of a maintenance thing. If you're already there, keep doing something to keep your brain gym activities active.
Okay, perfect. Website, Gwen?
You could go to harborpublishing.com.
Okay, and now you've told me that you've told me about the statistics, the benefits of completing crosswords, I might have to try and get my hands on one of your books.
And I think you'll learn patience as well. That's another good thing about solving crosswords.
It's easy to become frustrated, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. It was really nice to meet you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks for coming in. I've never been on that side of the puzzle. All right.